Macbeth, Act 3, Scene 1. The things are moving now. Here's the overall synopsis of Act 3. Macbeth plans to overturn the witch's prophecy that Banquo's sons will become kings by sending two murderers to kill both Banquo and his son Fleance. Macbeth no longer needs Lady Macbeth's involvement and bids her be, quote, innocent of knowledge of his decisions. So Macbeth is already waded into that river of blood, and there's no turning back now, right? Once he killed Duncan, there's no turning back. He's committed. There's no waffling with Macbeth now. A third murder, obviously not known by the other two, joins him, and although Banquo is slain, Fleance escapes. At the banquet, Macbeth is terrified by the bloody ghost of Banquo. So even though Macbeth's actions are murderous, he's haunted and he feels this guilt. Since no one else sees the apparition, Lady Macbeth attempts to excuse his behavior and eventually has to end the banquet. Macbeth determines to visit the witches again. Suspicion of Macbeth is mounting, and Macduff joins Malcolm in England. We have also, here's a synopsis of Scene 1. Banquo suspects, Banquo is like trying to putting together what happens here. That Macbeth killed Duncan in order to become king. Macbeth invites Banquo to a feast that night. Banquo promises to return time. Macbeth, fearing that Banquo's children, not his own, will be the future kings of Scotland, seizes upon the opportunity provided by Banquo's scheduled return after dark to arrange for his murder. To carry out the crime, Macbeth employs two men whom he has persuaded to regard Banquo as an enemy. So Macbeth's machinations are at work here. And we also have Macbeth's fourth soliloquy in Scene 1. So let's jump right in. Banquo. Thou has it now, King Cawdor, Glamis all, as the weird women promised, the witches, the weird sisters, and I fear thou playest most foully for it. Right here, he comes right out, and this is Banquo. He's honest, right? He's like, Macbeth. I have a feeling you set this up. You did something bad to get this. Yet it was said it should not stand, continue, in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush no more. Senate sounded, enter Macbeth as king, Lady Macbeth. Banquo, this is by himself here. He's turning these things over, right? Here's our chief guest. If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast and all things unbecoming. Tonight we hold a solemn supper, ceremonious supper, and I'll request your presence. Let your highness command upon me to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit. Ride you this afternoon? Aye, my good lord. So Macbeth is putting out feelers of what Banquo is doing. We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous, weighty and profitable, is this day's counsel. But we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride? As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better. Unless the horse gets faster than I expect, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain. Fail not our feast. Be here for our dinner, right? My lord, I will not. We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed. Those are Malcolm and Donalbain, right? In England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide. Macbeth's putting it on them that they killed the father. Filling their hearers with strange invention, lies. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state, craving us jointly, hie you to horse, adieu till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you? Macbeth, is your son going with you? Macbeth is really plotting and planning out here. Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon us. I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. So right here, we have Macbeth plotting and planning, right? Let every man be master of his time. Till 7 at night, to make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time, alone while Then God be with you. Everyone leaves. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure. They are, my lord, without the palace gate. Bring them before us. So here is Macbeth's fourth soliloquy, right, where he really contemplates murdering Banquo, which is his close friend, right? And we can see Macbeth's power corrupts, everything is clouded, and he's too far in now. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus, our fears in Banquo stick deep, right? Our fears that Banquo's sons are going to be the king, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares. And to that dauntless temper of his mind, that's the quality of Banquo's mind, right? Banquo was really good, honorable. He had the wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. He acts, right? Honorably, safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. I fear no one but Banquo, right? I fear no one but Banquo. And under him my genius is rebuked. Guardian spirit is cowed. That's what that means. And it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. And this is we're getting ready to look at Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Is he comparing himself to Caesar here, Macbeth? He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me. Banquo, right? The sisters, the weird sisters, the witches. And bade them speak to him. Them prophet like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip. My grasp, right? What about my kids, my king? What about my offspring? Thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding? What about my kids being king? If it be so, for Banquo's issue I have filed my mind. Banquo was my friend, but he must go. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. Put rancors, bitter enmities, rancors, in the vessel of my peace only for them, and mine eternal jewel, soul, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings? Rather than so. Come, fate, into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? So, in Macbeth's fourth soliloquy, Macbeth is acutely aware of the fact he has no children, no offspring. He recalls the prediction of the witches that Banquo's sons will be kings. This is the point at which Macbeth decides to murder his own best friend. The witches have predicted that Banquo will be the father of many kings. Macbeth is distressed by this because he knows that his own legacy will be barren. No children will inherit Macbeth's kingdom. Thus he wears a fruitless crown. This is his Banquo soliloquy here. This represents another turning point for the character of Macbeth. He admits that he has committed great acts of violence to become king. Now he wonders if it was all worth it, if he will have no heirs, right? I don't have any, no son of mine succeeding there, right? He is jealous of the fact that Banquo will be father of the kings. Macbeth is also very worried that Banquo may become suspicious. In order to make sure that Banquo never reveals the truth of what Macbeth has done, Macbeth decides to kill his own best friends. And he's plotting that here, right? Enter the servant and two murderers. Now go to the door and stay there till we call. So this is another, back to the fourth soliloquy. This is another thing with Macbeth, right? He killed Duncan, and now there's no turning back. There's nothing he won't do to hold power, even kill his own best friend, to stay in power, to keep power. So it was so, please your highness. Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? The speeches here. That it was he, so Macbeth is sowing seeds of doubt. He's telling the murderers that Banquo treated them badly, was headed out for them. That it was he in the times past, Banquo, which held you so under fortune. Banquo held you back. So now, I'm plotting, Macbeth's plotting and planning, which wasn't true. Which you thought had been our innocent self, this I made good to you. In our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments, deceived, born in hand. This is deceived by Banquo, which Banquo is honest. He doesn't deceive anybody. Who wrought with them and all things else that might to half a soul and to notion crazed, say, thus did Banquo. Banquo wronged you. Banquo held you back. You made it known to us. You told us. I did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled, made meek by the gospel, to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever? Here you can see a turning in Macbeth here too. Macbeth is almost, he's taking a page out of Lady Macbeth's book, where Lady Macbeth influenced Macbeth to do these things. Macbeth is influencing these murderers. We are men, my liege. I, in the catalogue you go for men, you pass for. As hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rugs, shaggy dogs, and demi-wolves are clept, all by the name of dogs. The valued file, the classification by valuable trace, distinguishes the swift, the slow, the supple, the housekeeper, the hunter, every one according to the gift which bounteous nature has him enclosed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike, and so of men. Now if you have a station in this file, not the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect. This is, you should murder Banquo. I am a man, are you a man? Dogs are, are you a man or not? Again, Macbeth is mimicking Lady Macbeth's speech to him. I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world has so incensed, and I am reckless what I do in spite for murder, in spite for the world. And I, another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy. Here he's plotting. He's turning him right against Banquo. True, my lord, so is he mine, and in such bloody distance quarrel that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. Every moment that Banquo is still alive threatens me. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight, I could banish him. I'm the king, and bid my will avouch it, justify it. Yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, bewail his death. I could have him killed, but it would be a bad look for me. I could have him banished or killed. It would be a bad look for me, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is that to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons. You need to kill Banquo because I can't get my hands dirty because it's a bad look. We shall, my lord, perform what you command us. Though our lives, your spirits shine through within this hour, at most I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy, the exact information. The spy means observation of the time, the moment on it, for must be done tonight. You must kill him tonight. I know where Banquo and Fleance are going to be. And something from the palace always thought that I require a clearness, the freedom from suspicion. That's what Macbeth means by clearness. I require freedom from suspicion. And with him to leave no rubs, flaws, nor botches in the work, Fleance his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than it is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolves yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon. You must kill the son too. Kill the boy Fleance, because that's who the witches said would be king. We are resolved, my lord. I'll call upon you straight. A bid within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight. So there we get Macbeth's fourth soliloquy, where he decides to kill his best friend, Banquo. He plots with these murderers. You must kill Banquo and Fleance.